Hello and welcome to the New Year's first episode of County Perspective, the show that focuses on Frederick County government, local programs and events, and a community that you live in. I'm your host, Brandon Rosa, and thank you for joining us. It's been a busy start to the year, so let's jump right in with some news from around the county. In 2018, county voters supported ballot question D that expands negotiating authority for the Career Firefighters Union. This month, County Council member Jessica Fitzwater unveiled a bill to make that happen. Councilmember Fitzwater said her bill supports county firefighters, gives their union a greater voice in the negotiation process, and balances the legitimate needs of public safety workers with the council's obligation to protect county taxpayers.
The firefighters collected signatures in order to get that on the ballot, and then the voters approved it in 2018. Now, nothing in our charter or anywhere else in the county code gave us a particular timeline or deadline for making sure that we took that on, but it was important to me that we make sure that the will of the voters came through, that we made sure that we were protecting our firefighters.
Fitzwater was inspired to create this bill based off of fulfilling the county's charter amendments.
So what that charter amendment does is require the county to expand collective bargaining for our firefighters to include not just salary and benefits, which they could already negotiate, but also working conditions. The second thing the charter amendment does is require us to have a process for binding arbitration. And what that means is the county and the firefighters come to an impasse or they can't agree on a contract. This puts in a new process for an arbitrator, a neutral arbitrator, to come in and help, and we've never had that process before.
Last year, Fitzwater hosted several work groups to gain input on what needed to be in the bill.
I'm also a teacher and a member of a union myself, so it was important to me that we make sure that we give our union a strong voice. So what I did is I put together a work group. It included 2 representatives from our local Career Firefighters Union, local IAFF. We also wanted to make sure that we heard from the volunteer firefighters. We also had representation from our Human Resources Department, as well as Acting Chief Tom Coe and the CAO. So we wanted to make sure we had all the voices at the table, and of course I had our council staff, Sydney Klimko and Attorney Brian Black there to help us out on the legal side of things.
Fitzwater wanted to model parts of the bill that other adjacent counties already had in place.
So we had each agenda, each meeting, sort of focusing on different topics, focusing on management rights, focusing on how would we define working conditions, focusing on how would we define an impasse, how would we know we actually got to that point where there was a disagreement, and then laying out both a process and timelines. We actually modeled parts of the bill off of some other counties, including Montgomery County. This was something that really everyone in the work group agreed on. We very specifically are defining what the management rights are.
What I passed around was kind of our suggestion that we were asked to bring for the subject matters for bargaining and then management's rights stuff. From looking through the various ordinances, because they're all over the place, but there definitely is in every single one of them the management rights portion, which I feel is important, like we've all discussed, and we kind of looked through, but they're kind of a little bit all over the place, and came up with these proposals for it.
The purpose of the bill is to create more transparency.
We wanted to make sure that we are balancing the needs of our public safety workers along with the needs of the county taxpayers and all of the other demands that are on the county budget. And I think we did that very well in the bill by making sure we had a process that fits into our budget cycle, that fits the charter language and fits in with our budget process that's outlined in the charter, just to make sure that we have a transparent process and a process that everyone could feel comfortable with. I hope that it will make Frederick County continue to be an attractive place for people to come work, including in our public safety sector.
Former Board of Education member Joy Schaefer is now the Director of Government Affairs and Public Policy for Frederick County government. She is succeeding Roger Wilson's position, who recently resigned. We had a chance to sit down with Schaefer, and we asked her what she will be bringing to the table for Frederick County government, as well as what are some of the pressing topics that she will bring forth to the Annapolis General Assembly that begins on January 8th.
On the school board, which is an elected office, I got used to advocating quite a lot at the county level, the state level, and the federal level for our school system's needs and our county's needs. So I have a lot of experience advocating for our positions, and I'm happy to do that for the county and advocating our county's legislative positions. And I also built a lot of relationships across all of those, county, state, federal government. So I feel like that's a really important part to make sure that we move forward in our priorities. I think this session especially is going to focus on education and both operating money for education as well as construction dollars. So I bring a lot of expertise around those issues. And then looking forward to moving the county's legislative package forward, as well as working with our delegation on priorities that dovetail nicely with our own priorities, helping out our delegates also in Frederick County.
County Executive Gardner has also recently announced the appointment of Christine Kay as the new Director of Citizen Services. Christine will oversee the Child Advocacy Center, Family Partnership, the Office of Children and Families, the Scott Key Center, and the Human Relations and Housing Community Development Departments. Welcome aboard, Christine. Now let's shift gears and focus on one of the largest concerns around the county this time of the year: the snow. How exactly does the county deal with the roads when forecasts are calling for nasty weather? Take a look and find out.
Well, this is the Division of Public Works. It's the Department of Highways and Facility Maintenance. And I'm the Superintendent of Highway Operations. We oversee and manage snow removal operations. We have 110 dedicated snow routes. Of those, 66 are county run, and the other 44 are run by contractors. Our main facility is here on Montague Lane in Frederick, but then we have the 5 satellite yards. There's one in Thurmont, one in Myersville, one in Jefferson, one in Urbana, and one in Johnsville.
They take a lot of effort here into watching the storms on, the radar and everything. And so if they predict one's going to start maybe around midnight, they'll normally give us a start time, say, 9, 10 o'clock. That gives us a chance to get in here, and then we get out to our runs, and then we pre-treat prior to.
As far as the pre-treating, it can be placed on the road up to 72 hours in advance. The salt brine, it's just a mixture of salt, rock salt, and water that we make ourselves, and it will keep the snow from bonding and freezing to the road surface. Then during the storm, we use straight rock salt on the majority of the roads.
Each driver has their own specific route, and with those routes they have primary roads and secondary roads. The primary roads, we mainly try to keep them open, at least 1 lane passable and then 2 lane passable. It depends on the storm. But we do the developments and everything typically come after the primary and secondary roads.
The secondary roads in the subdivisions during a heavy storm may not see a truck for several hours or even a full day, depending on how bad the event is. And then people get concerned about that. They haven't seen a plow come through their road for quite some time. But we're always in contact with central communication. If there is an emergency, residents should call 911. They will dispatch one of our trucks to that area.
If we have a long-lasting storm that could last a few days, they watch our hours and how long we're out actually behind the wheel. And a lot of times they let us go in shifts. They'll have some of us get off the road and then some of us stay out to keep certain roads open. And that way everybody does have plenty of time to sleep. And we have a bunk room here upstairs, and we do have a small kitchenette to where we can sleep, we can shower.
And sometimes if it's really bad, they will be assigned to fire stations. That way if a fire truck has to go out or an ambulance has to go out, a plow truck will go along with them. During an event, we're always in communication with the public school system. We will let them know how many trucks we have out, how long we've been out, what our forecast is showing, what our drivers are seeing on the road, so we can update them and give them as much information as possible, and then they can make their call as to whether they will stay open, close, open late, based on that information. If they're calling for a bad event or we're into a bad event, if you can stay off the road, stay off the road for your own safety. If you do have to go out, plan your trip in advance, try and leave early, give yourself extra time.
If they see our lights coming, if it's dark and they see our strobe lights coming, just pull over and let us go by, because it's so much harder for us to have to try to stop and build our momentum up than for them to. If they would, let us come by and then try to get home safely and stay off the roads until we've got them cleared up. That's the biggest thing.
Be sure to stick around, we have plenty more coming up on County Perspective. Welcome back to County Perspective. I'm your host, Brandon Rosa. Now in a bit, we'll learn about the Winter Reading Club. But first, let's find out who this episode's featured pet is.
Mrs. McCabe arrived at FCAC in late October with her 5 kittens. The little ones have all found forever homes, and now it's Mrs. McCabe's turn. The petite 2-year-old is currently thriving in our kitty cabana. She is social, affectionate, and quite the conversationalist. She gets along well with other cats and would make a great addition to any family. Visit Mrs. McCabe at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center, 1832 Rosemont Avenue.
Are you an avid reader? Are you familiar with Frederick County Public Library's Winter Reading Club? Let's head to the library to find out more on this exciting program.
Our Winter Reading Challenge at FCPL is really exciting this year. It's the first time we've ever done it, and it's in partnership with a national challenge from Beanstack, who runs our summer reading software and now our winter reading software. So we're very excited. We want to encourage everybody to read more. It's the beginning of the new year. If you've made a resolution to start reading and read more throughout the year, this is a great way to do it. So if you read just 500 minutes, that's about 15 minutes a day, you will be one of our finishers, which means you will be entered into a prize drawing. But of course, we want to encourage everybody to read as much as they can. And the more we read, the more chances we have to win some national prizes. Anyone can join the Winter Reading Challenge. We want to see kids all the way on up through adults, and it's a great family activity. So a kid does not need to know how to read independently. You can read aloud, and that counts for your entire family. Or for those audiobook lovers out there, count the minutes that you listen to a book and get your 500 minutes in no time. So Winter Reading Challenge is very easy to do. You can log online at fcpl.org/winter, or you can utilize the Beanstack app. So go into the App Store for your favorite type of device and look for that Beanstack app. Log in with your regular Beanstack login, which would be the same one if you signed up for Summer Challenge that you used then. And then just go and start logging. It's very easy. You can scan the barcode of a book and you can log your minutes. You can even set a timer, and that's really great to help kids be motivated to meet their reading goals. By just setting a timer for the book that they're reading, when they stopped, it's automatically logged for them. Another great feature of our Winter Reading Challenge is our partnership with Frederick County Public Schools. Many of the schools also utilize Beanstack, and so for those schools that do, the students can link their FCPL Beanstack account with their FCPS Beanstack account, and then they can get credit for reading in both locations. As a result, we hope that that will help Frederick County be a leader in the National Winter Reading Challenge. So this is FCPL's first year participating in the National Winter Reading Challenge. We hope that it will be a lot of fun, and as long as everybody enjoys it and it works well for us, we will definitely continue it in the future. And we hope to make it an annual event, just like our Summer Challenge. So the Summer Challenge is a very exciting time for us, where we're encouraging everybody to read all summer long, and now we're hoping to pick that up in winter and jumpstart the reading every year. For more information about the Winter Reading Challenge at FCPL, visit our website, fcpl.org/winter.
Looking for something to do in the next few weeks? Well, Frederick County has your back. Check out some of the great programs and events that some of the county departments are offering. To find more events and programs, or for more information, log on to the county's webpage, frederickcountymd.gov. Now at the end of our show, we like to mention a few recent events, along with things our viewers should keep an eye out for in the upcoming weeks. You're invited to Winchester Hall on Tuesday, January 14th at 11 a.m. for a Frederick at its Best recognition ceremony in honor of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Martin Luther King Jr. was born January 21st, and we celebrate the accomplishments of the civil rights activist each year on the third Monday of January. The holiday was signed into law in 1983 by President Ronald Reagan. The special day is a reminder of the sacrifices that Martin Luther King Jr. made in order to bring civil rights to all Americans. If you can't attend this year's recognition ceremony on January 14th, you can watch it on FCG-TV Channel 19, HD Channel 1085, and Frederick County Government's YouTube channel. Welcome to the year 2020, the start of a new decade. If your New Year's resolution list includes improving your health, Frederick County Parks and Recreation may be able to help. The division hosts a variety of engaging physical activities to get you into shape. Activities include basketball, gymnastics, pickleball, kickboxing, dance classes, yoga, and cardio and strength classes. There are activities for all ages. If you want to check out the list of activities that Parks and Recreation are offering for the new year, visit recreator.com or call 301-600-2936.
And I think our programs are very affordable. I think we're very flexible with what we offer and which locations and which programs we offer. And you're not tied into a contract. So if it's something that you don't really like, you can go to another location, switch it up to another fitness program. And I think more importantly is that we offer a diverse amount of programs throughout the county, depending on what your likes are, which allows people the flexibility to try something they never tried before.
You're never too old to get into shape. If you're a senior looking to stay active and healthy, many of Frederick County's senior centers offer daily exercise classes, strength training, and yoga. Visit frederickcountymd.gov/senior services to find a list of programs and activities, or call 301-600-1234. That's it for this episode of County Perspective, but don't forget to follow Frederick County on social media in order to keep up to date on important news and events. We'll see you next time for a fresh look from a county perspective.